Hi there guys, and welcome back to SitRep Gaming. In today's video, I'd like to have a light-hearted discussion about why we keep playing Call of Duty. After pretty much a decade of titles, some of them more successful than others and some of them slightly less successful, here we are still sinking hours upon hours of game time into the game. So what is it about Call of Duty that keeps us coming back for more? Now, the gameplay that you're seeing is from Call of Duty Ghosts. It's a TDM on the map Strike Zone, and I think we can all agree that Strike Zone was one of the few maps in Call of Duty Ghosts where you were guaranteed the possibility of having some fast-paced action, which, let's face it, was a bit of a rarity at times. But anyway, enough about the gameplay. I hope you enjoy it, and let's get straight into the topic of conversation. So, why do we keep playing Call of Duty? When I asked myself this question, numerous reasons started popping up into my head, and then each of these reasons gave me another reason. But as I started to unpack all these different things, it became pretty apparent to me that there were three main reasons I think contribute to why people keep coming back to Call of Duty year in, year out. And so those three reasons are going to form the bulk of this video. Now, I'm sure that amongst these three reasons, perhaps some of them will resonate with you guys watching as to why you keep playing, because I know some of them certainly resonate with me. So if they do, why not leave a comment down in the comment section and let me know if you agree with these reasons, and perhaps if there's different reasons that I haven't mentioned as to why you think people keep playing Call of Duty, then let me know as well in the comment section. But anyway, let's dive straight into these reasons. So first up, the movement system. I think that Call of Duty has one of the most graceful and effortless movement systems of any first-person shooter game. Whether we're walking, sprinting, aiming down sights or going prone, whenever we transition between these different aspects of the movement system, it feels incredibly smooth and it feels really addictive. This is something that Call of Duty has always seemed to do particularly well. And whenever I play other first-person shooter games, they don't quite have that same smoothness to the movement system. It's something which, in some respects, you can't quite put your finger on when you're playing, but you're just aware that there's this reason about why moving around and shooting, it just feels addictive, and it's something which really draws you into the game. Now, I play a lot of Battlefield as one, and I'll be the first to say that Battlefield is a stunning game, particularly Battlefield 1 this year. It's an absolutely beautiful game. And this isn't a criticism, but the movement system just feels a little bit clunkier. It doesn't have the same smoothness which Call of Duty always has. The way that the movement when we're simply sprinting compared to when we're aiming down sights relate to each other it just feels right. Perhaps it doesn't feel as realistic because obviously if you're running around in real life with a gun, you're going to be bobbing all over the place. But I think that slight lack of realism and more emphasis on the arcade style of movement is one of the key reasons why people keep coming back to Call of Duty, because it's an intangible feeling which when you play, it just feels right and it feels really, really addictive. So that's my first reason as to why I think people keep coming back to Call of Duty. Now, second up is a big one for me, and that's weapon design. I'm sure for all of you watching, when you think back over Call of Duty titles gone by, there's always been maybe 2 or 3 guns in each game which they may not have been the best gun, or they may not have statistically measured up to other guns on paper, but they just felt so right to use, and for you as an individual, they just clicked and they were addictive. Now, the gameplay that you're seeing right now is a great example as to why this matters for me, because I'm using one of the all-time favourite weapons of mine, and that's the Vector CRB. Now, there's something about this weapon which, I don't know, I just love. I don't know if it's the way it looks, the way it sounds, the reload animation, the iron sights. When I run it with a silencer and foregrip, I kind of feel like I'm, in SEAL Team 6 and running a special ops. There's just something about the weapon which draws me in and which just keeps me coming back to playing Call of Duty Ghosts, despite the fact that the game as a whole has many faults. This one thing in the game, this one tiny thing, this one weapon amongst all this big pool of mechanics keeps me coming back to playing the game. And I'm sure that's something which you guys can relate to, because I've had numerous conversations with people over the years where we've all discussed our favourite weapons, and whether that was for the way they looked or the way they sounded, it was always something which kept us coming back for more, and you could use that weapon game after game and simply never get tired of it. So the second reason as to why I think we keep coming back to playing Call of Duty is the character of the weapons and how we relate to them. Now, the final reason is a big one, and it's one I think which has separated Call of Duty from other first-person shooters and played a massive role in its success, and that's kill streaks. Now, kill streaks have always been part and parcel of the most successful Call of Duty titles, and when we think back to our best memories of playing perhaps the most present Call of Duty or a Call of Duty from 5 years ago, I'm willing to bet that we always remember the times when we got our kill streaks and for whatever reason the fates aligned and the kills just racked up from getting that chopper gunner or getting that AC-130 or the Wraith or the Warden in Infinite Warfare. There's something really tribal and visceral about getting your kills together, going on a streak and feeling that adrenaline as you get closer and closer and closer to the big streaks, and that sense of satisfaction when you get them. And the games when you don't get your streaks, you get that little voice in the back of your head which is saying, I'll get them in the next game, one more game, just one more game. And it's that addictiveness to having that other layer of reward in Call of Duty which keeps so many people coming back. And let's not forget as well that yes, we play in teams, we have team deathmatch, it's 6v6, but compared to other games such as Battlefield, Call of Duty is inherently, it's a bit of a lone wolf game, it's an individualistic game. The vast majority of people play solo, and having the kill streaks gives another layer of reward for players to try and tap into, and it's something which other games really lack. Now, I don't play perhaps as much Battlefield now as I did, for instance, when Battlefield 1 came out. And one of the reasons is not having things like kill streaks. When you play as a solo player, it just, I don't know, games can sometimes lose that freshness and lose that slight addictive quality that you simply don't really get in the same degree that you do with Call of Duty. And I think kill streaks are a massive reason why. I really do. They're integral to the success of Call of Duty, and they're integral as to why people keep on coming back, because they always think the next game is the game when I'm going to get my kill streak and it's going to get me 20 kills and I'm going to finish top of the leaderboard. And that's a feeling which I think we can all relate to. And as I've said, many of our most cherished memories of playing Call of Duty always seem to be related to when we've got big streaks, big scores, and everyone's looking at us thinking, God, I wish I got my streaks like that guy just did. But anyway, those are 3 reasons as to why I think people keep playing Call of Duty, and 3 reasons which are really integral to the success of the game. They keep people coming back year after year, and they separate Call of Duty from other first-person shooters. And yes, Call of Duty isn't the best shooter in a lot of regards. Maybe mechanically, maybe the way the maps are sometimes. There's lots of great shooters out there, but the 3 things we've discussed set Call of Duty apart, and I think they're a massive reason as to why people keep on coming back to play the game. So anyway, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. I hope that you've enjoyed it, and if you have, please leave a like rating because it's greatly appreciated. If you'd like to see more content, then don't forget to subscribe and turn the notifications on. And all that's left to say is thanks for tuning into SitRep Gaming, and I'll see you in the next video.